raising the ante in a poker game and until the other players can't play it. Actually, that's the way it worked. But at the time, it was argued as a nuclear umbrella. This will protect us. There was a protest, kind of what was pointed out by many scientists is that this may wipe out 95% of missiles, but it won't get them all. You can't guarantee you're going to get them all. They shoot 1,000 missiles at you. So what they did is they had these umbrellas. This is in Manhattan. They had these umbrellas. They were giving away umbrellas. And the umbrellas had these little pinholes in them. And on the stick of the umbrella it said, this umbrella will keep out 95% of the rain. But you still get wet. Now, my conjecture is that this may have some generalization. Go back one step. To the situation here. Why should a developing country, and many of you are from these developing countries, why should a developing country lower its competitive position on behalf of the defense of the United States? What's their motivation?
It's the cost of doing business.
Cost of doing business.
Yeah.
Or going out of business. It's going to lower their competitive position.
That's the choice they got to make.
But why do they have to necessarily do it right? You see the quality control problem. They can appear to be compliant.
I guess that's another way to do it. Yeah. That's fine.
Anyway, what we're thinking of is, in our thinking for this proposal, is we have to somehow lower the cost of compliance. And so what we're toying with, the model of what's not yet here, is a kind of open source model. So this technology is already out there open source. But the idea is open sourcing these procedural solutions to make it easier to lower the cost of entry, to lower the cost of compliance, and to make it a sort of public resource. So that's the general direction of that project.
Another thing is that I know in the postal industry, right, there is a UPU, which is the Universal Postal Union, and they have a thing that's called the
Universal Postal Union,
and they have a thing that's called the Quality Service Fund, and it's a fund for all the more industrialized nations. When they ship somewhere, they have to pay in this fund, so underdeveloped countries, or you can fund. With this fund, like lesser developed countries are helped with their projects.
So it's kind of like a tax.
It's like governments do too. What is that called? I don't know. It's like a...
Like foreign aid.
Yeah, kind of.
UPU.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like just the
And the fund is called?
Quality of Service Fund.
Quality of Service Fund.
Yeah, and it's just like the more developed nations are helping out the lesser developed nations to develop their mail terminals, to develop their structure, their processes, so they can do business, because those nations are countries that more developed countries do want to do business with.
And is there a security component here? They're helping them with the security in the mail?
I don't know.
Anthrax was a big deal in this country a few years ago. The mail system, now, I'm not sure what happens behind the
I think
scenes,
it's from, I don't know.
I could
think
do so.
each other should be wrong, but I don't know.
you heard it from the postal authority. Anyone else? Suggestions from your country?
I think one bill needs to be considered seriously is politics.
Is what?
Politics. There is a lot of politics.
Well, I hope it doesn't end up to be politics. It will never.
Of course, this is why I bring it up, because it's a big standing block. So there should be procedures for kind of lowering the political interactions. big problem.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's why I hold my contacts with the United Nations. At least that's as far as they're much more professional at it than I am.
But I don't understand if you're saying you, with the open source software, you want to like standardize or help them support the standardization of documents. But isn't it like really the operational part that's of concern? I mean, somebody has to stand there and search the containers and like say what's allowed to be shipped and what's not allowed to be shipped. It's not just like the documentation of the containers, it's the operational.
Yeah, actually what we're thinking of is not so much the documents, is more the procedures. And finding ways, the thing is, to do the same task, there's a large-scale way of doing it. When you look at a huge port where they have robotics and all this stuff, and you look at a small port, there are ways of going about things that are much different.
Yeah, well, they have probably also people and they all get like minimum wage if they are even legal.
And that's the thing.
So that like if you pay a person minimum wage and tell them to choose container for this and this, they're gonna you go open the door, look at it, and be like, yeah, it's a fine, let it go.
That's the point of the holes in the umbrella. It doesn't matter that we have these, that we have these really solid procedures of Hong Kong and Rotterdam. If there's one little port that we're doing business with, where they can put in an atom bomb inside something and the controls are weak, that's just like the rain getting through the umbrella. So, if you think back when David Hines was here, we're talking about this virtual community. The idea we have here is to somehow recast this. It's not just the open source part of it. The open source is kind of the platform. Like the Wikipedia is the platform, but the trick is getting people to participate. And getting the participation of the various parties so that they can end up with procedures that actually fit in their environment. And if there is a critical phase, well, you're going to have to pay these people more. I mean, somebody's going to have to pay them more. If the U.S. really wants this container inspected in a certain way, and if it's the U.S.'s main concern, or if it's Holland's main concern, or Japan's main concern, well, they ought to pay somebody to get over there and do that particular thing. This is in the analysis of the procedure. If it's a big deal, you find the weak links in the chain and put the resources on the phone.
But it's always like the savings. I mean, like the main concern of those U.S. companies is saving costs.
You bet.
And
that's this
I mean,
trade-off.
This is the same problem that we're having with China right now. I mean, if you do want to pay the cost, I mean, yeah, we could get control people over there that will control the process, how products are made that are supposed to be for the American market. But no, we want to reduce our costs, so let China make the product and put lead in it and whatever. And that's what we want to do. That's what the companies want to do.
That's why you have the regulators. See, it's this dialectic between companies it's this opposition of interest. In a port, you have both interests sort of pulling against each other. You have the customs that are the regulators. They slow things down. No company wants their container inspected. That slows the whole chain down. Companies will do anything to sort of get around, distract the customs guy or whatever. And it's this sort of push and pull. And if the customs ends up successfully slowing everybody down, the whole economy slides down. And then the whole country becomes less competitive. So that's the trade-offs we're trying to do. Take a break, and when we come back, we're going to cover the admin for the, remember next time, final project presentations. There has been this shift once again. Apparently the registrar's office is just getting their story together now. We're back to Thursday. Thursday the 13th. In here from 8 until 10, whatever I said.
Maybe, maybe I'll keep that now. I really want to see more. Too late.
You take a 5-minute break, and I'm summarizing the stuff here on the screen.
You said everything. You said everything signed up for. You want to put it all together. Yeah.